Hi guys, it's Lisa Holt, and today we're going to be talking about design mistakes that I see almost everywhere. It's really easy to fix, so stick with me. 5-10 minutes from now, you're going to know everything there is to know and how to fix it. Number one thing that I see as a mistake everywhere is paint. So here's a couple of quick tips on paint. If you have a small space or you have low ceilings, you want to paint everything the same and you want to keep your color on the light side or even a white. The second thing you really need to know about paint is understand sheens. There's a ton of sheens out there, but honestly, there's 3 you care about. You want to know about flat, eggshell, and semi-gloss or gloss. Flat goes on your walls, everywhere except for your kitchen and your bathrooms. There you can go to an eggshell because they need to have a moisture-proof surface. And then for a semi-gloss, you can go to trims and your doors. If you're feeling fancy, you can even go to a high gloss, but only if you have a good surface. So remember, your biggest bang for your buck is paint. The second design mistake I see all the time is people not measuring or not knowing how big their space is, okay? Actually, I'm excited to tell you about this one. So it's very easy. You simply draw your room out, and it doesn't need to be major artwork. You just need to get the information down. So make sure you locate your windows, okay, and your doors, and then just add your dimensions, right? 30 feet, that would be a nice size. What you want to do is also make sure you add your ceiling is, say, 8.5 feet, right? So that way, take a picture of this, and that way you are always able to have that information with you. Also make sure you carry your measuring tape with you, because you'd be shocked at how many stores that you find something vintage in, perhaps, won't have any way to measure. And you know, if the sofa is 6 feet or 7 feet, it could make a big difference to your room. Super easy tip. And again, like I said, you don't have to be an artist. All right, so tip number 3 is window treatments and drapery, as opposed to window shades or window blinds. Tend to soften a room, make the room feel warmer and more welcoming. You can go really wrong with drapery. If you're gonna do drapery, whether they're fixed panels, meaning they don't move, actual moving draperies, meaning that they close over the window, both of these things apply. As a rule of thumb, you always want to hang your drapery as high as you possibly can, literally like 2 inches, 3 inches from the ceiling. What that does is it gives you a sense of height in the room. The second thing that is a great tip to always remember is that your drapery wants to be long enough that it actually touches the floor a little bit, all right? You know, you don't want it to drape. You do want them to touch so that they don't look like they've been shrunken. The third thing that is kind of a personal thing for me, but I treat drapery as if it is an architectural element. So I tend to specify materials and fabrics that tend to be softer, more textural, and be very close to the overall wall color that I've done, because I like drapery that feels like it's part of the overall surrounding environment. So design tip number 4 is area rugs. 90% of the time, they're too small. You want to work with area rugs to make sure that furniture sits on it comfortably. You want to understand the space that you have that you're trying to define and measure it out, and then add about 6 to 8 inches on all 4 edges. Well, but the main thing you want to remember, if your sofa's up against a wall, you can cheat it a little bit as long as it's not in your main traffic pattern. You can't cheat. You have to stick that carpet up against the wall, and it has to be big enough on the other side to hold the seating arrangement. But when you have a situation where you have a piece of furniture and it's sitting halfway on and halfway off of a carpet, it just looks like somebody dropped a rag. And you know you're gonna spend money on area rugs because they're not inexpensive. So you wanna make sure that you measure first, it's big enough, and you get it right. So, hey guys, if you found this helpful, please be sure to subscribe and comment down below, because I really wanna know what you wanna know. So, hey guys, if you found this helpful, please subscribe. Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, let me try. Because I want to know what you want to know about everything design.